First, we're gonna watch some bullshit, okay? And we're gonna start with you already saw, but this slime ball, this grease ball right here. Look at him. Look at him. Now, apparently this guy is like suing Hasan. So let's see if he has a case. Keep in mind, this person is a lawyer, by the way. I am not a lawyer. However, I'm still going to talk about this anyway. Okay, let's see if Hasan committed what defamation.
Slandered me, committed some defamation in response to my reaction to what was going on with Twitch and the situation with Twitch. So today I'm going to respond to that publicly, clear up some of that misinformation, and also talk about some hot water that Hasan may be in legally in the state of California. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is the legal mindset we teach you to be your own judge. So typically my policy overall with defamation, with people that engage in defamation, is just to ignore it, is to pass it by, is to really pay it no mind, particularly if they're smaller channels and smaller people, really to ignore that at large. However, when a channel of 1.7 million people spreads false information about yourself,
that's
clearly
a lot of people.
Not having watched a single one of my videos or really knowing much about me, it seems, other than what the most deranged antis might try to cook up, there is some need to respond to that. And also, there is a need to bring up some very real legal trouble that Mr. Piker may be in regarding California, especially as some individuals look to come against him. So first of all, we're going to start by reviewing the defamation itself, and this does come in the form of a video which I have right here for you guys.
Not good.
And this is Hasan kind of responding to his chat and talking about me and why he's not going to review my videos. And I just want to start out by saying I love the fact that you're going to see immediately how he jumps to ad hominem, because ad hominem, or personal attacks, when used as a debate strategy or when used to rebuke someone, actually represent a concession. That actually means you are incapable of making a legal argument or an objective argument. Or
yeah, and that's true, but not necessarily true. Not necessarily true. Like, I use ad hominem attacks quite often. I employ them. I do this because I fucking want to. If I don't like you, then I will make like a personal attack on your character. Okay, I'll be doing that. You'll see me do that shit. Okay? And anyway, it doesn't mean I'm right. It also doesn't mean I'm wrong. Okay, so like, just because I ad hom you doesn't mean my argument is invalid. Okay, and it also doesn't mean that I have nothing else to say. And in fact, I will usually when I ad hom, it will be right after I made an argument, or it'll precede an argument I'm about to make. So, yeah, I think that ad hominems are generally unacceptable, and you shouldn't do it. You should try not to. I try not to. Instead, I try to attack people's ideas and not their character. Okay, like if I watch a lot of these like right wingers, and if I were to like just attack their character and nothing else, then I would waste a lot of time, because there are many vectors of attack on the character of these motherfuckers, because they're all slimy, they're all weaselly. Okay, that's just like par for the course with right-wing content creation. That's what you get. But yeah, anyway, let's see how Hasan ad hommed him.
Or an informed argument, or in any sort of educational argument, you're simply trying to discredit someone personally to get around the fact you lack the capacity to actually argue. And so I actually don't take offense to that.
I will say that I call this out when I see it too. I call out ad hom attacks when I see them, but only when there is no argument. Only when there is no, when the person ad homing me, makes no argument, they just, do an ad hominem, that's when I will call it out, okay? I don't really give a fuck if you, try to attack my character and you're making a cohesive argument, because when you attack my character, I have no rebuttal for that, other than, no, actually, I'm a good guy, I'm actually, a super good and nice guy. Okay, that's the only response to just an ad hom. But if they present a real argument, then you can actually deconstruct that. But anyway, I have noticed over the years. I watched Hasan, and he certainly does like engage in in ad hominem attacks sometimes. Keep in mind that he like first of all, like ad homs are more understandable when you personally know someone. And Hasan, I think that he he rubs a lot of elbows. I think that he talks to a lot of people. And that includes people that don't like him so much anymore. We're not gonna name any names, but we all know who we're talking about. So it makes more sense to attack someone's character when you know their character personally, when you have been friends with them for many years.
We're used to it having been on the internet for years.
This guy
now.
obviously
so we'll get into this.
He is not somebody that Hasan has known.
Wow. I mean, it generally that is true, by the way. Is that if somebody can argue against something on the basis of its facts and validity, they'll choose to do that. And if somebody can't argue on something on the basis of on its facts and validity, they will choose to insult the person saying it.
Video and the
thought.
Yeah, watching Asmongold is just yeah, man, fucking obviously. I'm guilty of this too, I think sometimes, but I try not to. I really do. I try not to. I don't want to pause a video just to say some obvious shit that everybody already knows, okay? That that everybody and their grandmother already fucking figured out. Yeah, man, obviously ad hominem attacks are usually used when the person has nothing else to say. I don't know if Hasan did that here. Let's find out.
Hi, Mr. Piker.
Dude, there's something so funny about people being like, dog, have you seen the legal mindset video about you? Dude, if I were to cover every Rumble lawyer, fake lawyer that actually is...
So let's stop right there. Okay, so Rumble lawyer is very interesting. And I think he made...
Rumble lawyer is very interesting. Let me guess. He's about to say... I don't even use Rumble that much. I don't even post on there.
While I do have, I guess, still a Rumble account, I haven't uploaded it to years. I don't stream on Rumble. I only stream on YouTube, primarily as a major platform. I've tried the others. I don't like them. Rumble, just as a comment, initially offered a very good package.
You have a Rumble account,
to stream on their platform, good advertising packages. That fell off way back towards the COVID days. So yeah, that's kind of a weird thing. Now, fake lawyer is interesting, and I want to throw out here that's possibly...
I wouldn't say a weird thing. I would say that there's a certain type of person that has a Rumble account. Okay, and... if you were a doctor, he would say Rumble Doctor. Okay, if you were a fucking a stripper, Rumble Stripper. Okay, I'm just saying, if it's not about your profession, it's not about any of that. Okay, it's just that you use Rumble. Okay, it's weird. It's weird to use Rumble. Okay, because it's a fucking right wing. But we're not going to talk about Rumble. We're not going to talk about
the most defamatory thing. Now, I want to give Mr.
For those of you that don't know,
perhaps he
it's
knows
basically
nothing about me or knows
worse
nothing about the
version
law.
of
Well,
Kick.
clearly he knows nothing about the law or what words
Somehow.
mean. A lawyer is anybody
worse.
with a law degree, whether or not they're licensed and practice law. So anybody who's gone to law school is indeed a lawyer. Now, attorney is someone above lawyer. You could
Really?
say that word is perhaps not interchangeable, but similarly related insofar as they're not only a lawyer, not only do they have a law degree, but an attorney has to be licensed to practice in their state.
Wait. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I was confused. He said a lawyer is anyone that went to law school, which is technically... Okay, it did legitimately confuse me. Maybe I'm dumb. But he said anybody that goes to law school is a lawyer. That's not true. Okay, people go to law school and then drop out. Okay, they stop going to law school. It does happen, unfortunately. So.
Attorney is someone above lawyer. You could say that word is perhaps not interchangeable, but similarly related insofar as they're not only a lawyer, not only do they have a law degree, but an attorney has to be licensed to practice in their state. I'm licensed to practice in the state of Florida. So I am both a lawyer and an attorney above that.
So it's not even true. I can't believe it. Hasan doesn't like somebody, so he just made up a bunch of random stuff about them to make them look bad.
What did he make up? He said he's a Rumble lawyer. All he said was he's a Rumble lawyer. Okay. This person is a lawyer. That's a fact. Okay. Also, he just admitted to having a Rumble account, having an operational Rumble account. Maybe he doesn't use it. Okay. Oh, I don't even use it that much. Like, you have a Rumble account, bro. This is so stupid. How is this defamation? This is not defamation so far. I don't think they're trying to say that this is defamation. I assume that the defamation is coming later. We'll see what that is. Okay, I'd like.
Can you believe that? Oh my God!
He didn't make anything up. But...
What the fuck? So he just did that? I thought he would never do that.
Yeah, he just made it up.
I think that Hasan at this point, and content creation at this point, I said this earlier, it's getting to be a really big industry. And in the process of it becoming a really big industry, there's more accountability with that. He has to stop doing this, because maybe it might not be this time, but it might be next time. You can't just go out and just start vomiting like just insults at people that are like really damaging, like calling people pedos or saying someone's a rapist or something like this. Like you've really got to dial this back. And I think
what? Wait, when has he done that? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? The fuck are you talking about, man? When has Hasan ever falsely accused somebody, or even like, when has he ever accused somebody, period, of being a pedophile? I can't think of any. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be like not remembering it, but like, what the fuck are you going on about?
He's been getting away with it. A lot of people have gotten away with it for a long time, and I think the reason why is it's pretty simple. It's because it really just nobody really cared, because
maybe he's not
the money was small, the industry was small, and it wasn't a big deal. But as live streaming and YouTube and Twitch streaming and just in general influencer media grows and it becomes larger, that level of accountability is going to go up, and I think he needs to stop. Just like,
I agree with it.
Like, how many people do you know on the internet that are transphobic? Not
that he needs to stop.
Pretty much zero, right? Because it's always all of these words. It's never one of them. It's always all of them. And the problem is that with people that do this kind of stuff, you never do that shit. I try not to. But the reality is that, and this is going to become more and more true, is that when you're making these statements about people, eventually somebody will hold you accountable. And the problem with Hasan specifically is that he will blatantly lie. He will like just straight up say something that is completely untrue with no, like literally zero justification whatsoever. Like something will be red, he'll say that it's blue.
Yeah, he just lies.
Eventually, that's going to get you in trouble.
Where? Name a lie.
Yeah, like for example, he was saying that I was complaining about black
Hasan lie challenge.
When actually in the clip where I was discussing the topic, I was saying that it wasn't a thing and it was just a problem with antisocial behavior. So, and that's just an example that I've experienced. Obviously, like there's been other people that have experienced things that are similar to that with Ethan or whatever else. And so the problem is that eventually, like I'm not going to sue Hasan. That's stupid. Like I don't want to do that. But somebody else will.
Because you would fucking
And eventually that's going to happen. And that's it.
People are already suing.
So thinking about that logically, as a little bit of education, all attorneys are lawyers.
It's Reddit brain? Yeah, no, it is. It's Reddit
this
and
guy
Twitter
is literally talking about suing him in this video.
He'll love this if he sees this. Hasan is famous and
video
well-known enough now that I don't think he can get away with that
Lawyer says
anymore.
it's defamation.
I think he's going to have to watch his language a little bit and not just randomly make shit up about people and put it out to his audience.
Again, what is he made up? Where is the made up lies? Where are the made up lies? Where are they? Where are they? Just name them. Okay. Anyway, people are suing people like Hasan and now Hasan. Okay, I presume if a lawyer is saying that you defamed them, that means that they are suing you. That means that they are about to sue you. I don't think there is any lawyer that would claim or allege that like somebody defamed them, somebody committed defamation against them, and then they would go on to not sue them. Okay, so this is a law. This is a lawsuit. It's a stupid fucking lawsuit, I think, probably. But I don't know. We're about to find out. Let's see if Hasan
not all lawyers are attorneys. So there you go, Mr. Piker. That's the language. So that statement is indeed false, right? That I am a quote-unquote fake lawyer because I indeed possess a law degree from the that statement in the future would be...
My bad. Okay, so, that is also not defamation, and I'll tell you why. Even though Hasan said fake lawyer, and that is untrue, it seems, okay, it seems this person is a real lawyer. I will operate on good faith, and I'll take his word for it. he's a lawyer. Okay, he's a lawyer in the state of Florida. The Hasan calling him a fake lawyer still isn't defamation because there's a reasonable there is a reasonable doubt to the fact that Hasan would know that he was lying there. Okay? Like, what I mean by that is Hasan didn't know that the guy was a real lawyer. There are lots of people on the internet who are internet lawyers. They love to talk about the law and the application of the law and the judicial branch. And they kind of role play as lawyers. Okay, that's what they do. And anyway, Hasan cannot know every lawyer. He just can't. He cannot know at all times who's a lawyer and who's not. He can't know that. Okay, he couldn't know that you have a law degree. Okay, you are a content creator. First of all, you're a lawyer and you're a content creator. And you're a smaller content creator. You made some content about Hasan, that's my understanding, and some chatters went to Hasan and they were like, hey, this guy's talking about you. And Hasan didn't know who the fuck you were because he's a very large content creator and you are a very small one. So how the fuck would he know that you're a lawyer? How would he know you're a real fucking lawyer? It's so fucking stupid. That's not defamation. That will not hold up in court, dumbass. There's no way. There's no way you will win that in court. Why are you doing this? You must know that. He must know this. I guess he's probably doing this for publicity, in which case I'm technically aiding and abetting him in his scheme here. But yeah, that's not fucking defamation, bro. It's not. Okay? If I called you a fake lawyer and that brought you material harm, that would be defamation because I now know that you're a lawyer. But Hasan didn't know that. He didn't fucking know that, dude. He couldn't have known that. And anyway, you would also have to prove material harm as well. But that would probably be, somewhat easier because, that could be actually true. Like Hasan saying something could affect your bottom line or whatever. Or him saying something negative about you could do that. However, again, you would have to prove that he knew he was lying. He knew he was lying when he said that thing that was untrue, which also definitely caused you material harm, and you have to prove that as well. And I doubt that you would be able to prove any of that shit in a court. I don't think so, man. But anyway, let's keep going.
Defamatory. And with Mr. Piker, we do have to remember, and with myself and other figures, is that we are all public figures. So we follow the New York Times versus Sullivan standard. We have a higher standard for defamation than the normal private individual. So now that that's been clarified publicly for Mr. Piker, and that he will well know that information is false and defamatory, to continue to do so would perhaps incur liability on the part of Mr. Piker. But let's continue to see what he has.
It's obviously damaging to somebody to say that they're a fake, to say somebody's a fake doctor, say somebody's a fake lawyer. You're directly attacking their profession.
Say about me.
There's actual malice here? Yeah, there is.
A fucking right-wing.
I also think that if you are a dubious lawyer, one that makes content and is trying to get the attention of a larger creator, that is a reason to maybe call someone a fake lawyer. Okay, if you are using your law degree to make content, and the content you're making is targeting a larger creator, and you're just twisting the law to make it seem like he's doing something that he's not, then yeah, I don't think it's crazy to call you a fake lawyer either. And anyway, still, again, I don't think that Hasan could have known that he was a lawyer or wasn't. Even if this lawyer, clarified it, he's saying he did, no, I actually am a lawyer. How could he know you're telling the truth? Anyway, I feel, and another thing is, if Hasan said, this guy is a shitty lawyer, he's a He's a garbage lawyer. He's like a trash lawyer. Would that be defamation? I don't think so. And I think that the fake lawyer statement is kind of similar to that. Okay, like, it's a little different, but I don't know. I think it's almost synonymous. It really is. He could have swapped out the word fake for a different word, and it would like garbage, like trash, and it would have carried the same meaning. Okay, so fake lawyer in effect just means you're a shitty lawyer. You're a shitty lawyer that makes up bullshit for attention, for clout, for money. I don't know, one of those things.
Spends most of their time
and that's
talking
not
about
defamation
trans people.
to say that.
So that's very interesting. So I will say this. Most of my time talking about trans people, the issues I've been covering lately have been the Ethan Klein lawsuit, have been Johnny Somali, have been Vitali. Now, unless you are counting something with Somali or Vitali as a trans issue, which I would struggle to understand how that would fit in, then yeah, that's not at all what my content has been about for the past years. Yeah. So,
But did you make content about trans people? He said my content hasn't been that way for years. Okay, well, if you still said some transphobic shit years ago, it's valid to bring that up. It's valid to bring that up, especially when it comes to like talking about the quality of your content, which is all centered around being a lawyer, being a real good lawyer. Okay, do you understand? Like it, I can't get, I struggle.
Oh, very interesting thing. Also, I keep politics out of my streams, and particularly over the last year, 6 months, definitely.
Just making shit up, right? That's the thing. Is like, this is what's going to get him in trouble, and I know that he's going to be defensive about this if he ever sees this. But he should take this seriously. Maybe not on stream, but off stream. You know, whenever you don't have to put on a perspective, you need to dial this shit down. You need to dial this down before you fuck it up for everybody.
Months of a year, I have endeavored to keep my streams as objective and educational and make it an environment where everybody is welcome. Even people who like Hasan Piker are welcome in my chat, so long as they are civil, so long as they keep the conversation from violating the terms of service of the platform, because I indeed do care about abiding by the terms of service of the platform. Yeah. That is, you are welcome in my chat, whether you're right, left, center, whether you're apolitical, whether you don't care about politics. It doesn't matter at all to me. I care about the law and educating people on the law. That's the core of my channel. So let's continue.
I would lose my mind. I would have no time to cover anything else. I get it. A lot of you are drama perverts, okay? And you nut when you think about the prospect of drama. But I'm not.
I will say, I actually do not like drama. And in fact, on my channel, I try to avoid drama.
I love drama. I farm.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, man? Yeah, you try to avoid drama? Really? This is you avoiding drama. That's what this is. You fucking moron. What the fuck are you, what the fuck are you saying?
It's just purely entertainment. I'm not sorry.
Yeah, we know, Asmongold. We know. Just shut the fuck up.
I'm not above it at all.
Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck.
I go to McDonald's 5 times a week.
No shit you do.
In fact, even in carrying out my behaviors,
I
try
to
make
do
sure that I am focusing more on the legal aspects of things rather than the dramatic elements, personal problems, stuff that people did. I try to focus on the legal elements of a story. Now, sometimes to get to the legal elements, you have to give background, you have to give context, because things don't make sense in context, without context. However, yes, I would agree with Hasan that I don't like drama, but what Hasan tends to define as drama, and what it appears he's defining as drama, is anything that disagrees with the things he's doing. So by somebody saying what you are doing is objectively risking lawsuits, it's objectively wrong, or for example saying that, hey, your orbiters, Denims and Frogan, they're going to lose under copyright infringement, here's the explanation.
This is obviously, from the jump, you have been trying to, like, sue Hasan or like, get Hasan taken off the platform, or like, get him fucking, get him terms of service, get him, or, just support a lawsuit against him. Like, that's what you've been trying to do. That's it. Okay, why did I say that? I can't remember.
He's doing. So by somebody saying what you are doing is objectively risking lawsuits, it's objectively wrong, or for example saying that, hey, your orbiters, Denims and Frogan, they're going to lose under copyright infringement, here's the explanation of the law. Apparently that's drama, to objectively educate people.
It's drama when you do shit like this, when you're like, you're obviously trying to get attention. Look, it's not, you didn't commit a crime or anything. It's not like an egregious offense to like content farm, to like do drama content, but that is so obviously what you're doing. You're not educating people about the fucking law, dumbass. You're trying to get them taken off the platform, and you're trying to like get attention from him. That's it. That's it. You're trying, and you've been somewhat successful at it, but I don't think that is really Hasan's fault. I don't really blame him for addressing this on stream. I think he probably will avoid talking about this bullshit. If you're gonna sue him, then fucking sue him, bitch. Just do it. You're probably going to fail spectacularly, and it'll be really funny. Okay, just like with the Ethan Klein lawsuits, like he is going to lose so much money on that shit. I would be shocked and awe if he got any money out of that in the end, and he won't. He won't.
Somebody in chat said that Hasan reminds me of the guy that used to be surrounded by girls, but now he's surrounded by lawyers. I just think it's so funny. Oh my god.
Law. That's a new definition of drama to me, and I don't know what you guys think.
Wait, I missed that.
To be surrounded by girls, but now he's surrounded.
Explanation of the law. Apparently, that's drama.
Oh yeah. I'm just explaining the law. I'm just explaining the law.
Objectively educate people on the.
Somebody in chat said that Hasan reminds me of the guy that used to be surrounded by girls, but now he's surrounded by lawyers. I just think it's so funny. Oh my god.
What guy are they talking about?
Law. That's a new definition of drama to me, and I don't know what you guys think.
I don't get the reference.
Any mind
My
or
bad.
any attention to some fucking psychotic MAGA lawyer, not a real lawyer, but a passport bro.
So, okay, that's really interesting. Once again, he repeats the defamation. I'm not a real lawyer, which is indeed wrong. And it's interesting, and MAGA, of course, don't bring up politics. That I've never talked about that at all recently at all. But beyond that, passport bro is interesting because it
again, notice that he said not recently. Okay. The reason that's important, and the reason I said the same thing just a couple minutes ago, is because they're saying that he's lying. They're saying Hasan is lying, he's making up all these lies. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? You didn't deny it. You didn't deny it, so he wasn't lying. Okay, the only thing that they are getting him on with the lies is the fake lawyer stuff. Okay, that's it. That's it. And look, you can I will die on this hill. I still don't think that's defamation. If somebody says if you are a doctor or lawyer, let's just take doctor for example. If somebody says you're not a real doctor because you killed a bunch of your patients, technically they're wrong. You are a real doctor. You went to you went to medical school. My bad. You went to medical school, but you went on to kill a bunch of people. Okay, maybe you don't get hit with the malpractice. Maybe you're still practicing, okay, but you kill a bunch of people. Basically what I'm saying is you're a shitty doctor, but you're still technically a doctor. Okay, would it be outrageous for somebody to say you're not a real doctor? That's why this isn't defamation, okay? It's the same principle applied here. You are a lawyer, but you're a shitty lawyer. That's why we can say you're not a real lawyer. It's not like anybody is listening to Hasan and they know that you're a lawyer. They know you went to law school and they hear him say that and they're like, oh, I guess he isn't actually a real lawyer. No, man. Everybody that knows you, they know you're a lawyer, dumbass. Hasan isn't convincing anyone that you're not a fucking lawyer by calling you a fake lawyer. It's stupid.
The definition of a passport bro is typically someone.
It's a guy who goes to an Asian
and you
country
are a
to get an
shitty
Asian
lawyer. I know that
who wants
because
to
you're a
date
moron.
Western man because the idea is that he can't get a wife in a Western country. That's what a passport bro is.
Yeah.
Visit a location for a short period.
Well, no. That's not what passport bro is. No. It's not a person that can't get a wife in their home country. What the fuck? Why would you define it that way? Why would you do that? Of course you can get a wife in your home country. Anybody can. Anybody can find a wife in their home country. If you can fly overseas and find a wife in a different country, you can find a wife in your home country. Believe me. Anyway, passport bros it is a term used to describe primarily men, not necessarily, but primarily men, hence the term bro. Men that get a passport and they go to a foreign country and they take advantage of their status as being a citizen of their country to bring a subservient woman that won't leave them home with them. Okay, that's the point. That's the real point. Is if you're an American especially, okay, but any Western nation, if you're an American, god damn it, you find a woman to victimize, and then you say I love you, do you want to live in America with me? And it's a fucking fly, dude. And the girl's like, hell yeah, I want to live in America, I'll come live with you, and then you take her there, and then you've captured her. Okay, she's stuck. She cannot leave you. That's the point of being a passport bro, is that you want to get a woman in a situation where she cannot leave you. It would be very inconvenient for her to leave you. Okay, because she relies on you for the green card. That's why it's nefarious. That's why it's wrong. And anyway, I don't know if this lawyer is a passport bro. I will say that if Hasan called him a passport bro and that was unfounded, then that is, I don't know. I don't really think that's defamation, because once again, you have to look at the parameters which define defamation, and I don't think that checks all the boxes. I just don't think it does. First of all, it has to be something that you know to be false. It has to result in material harm. And I think that's it. There might be another thing, okay? But I don't think it meets those two requirements, okay? I just don't. How does it cause material harm? Also, how can you prove that he knew that it was a lie? Reasonably. You are kind of creepy and weird, so I don't know. You might be a passport bro. I don't think it's crazy to think that. Look at you. Look at you, man. All right, let's keep going.
Purely for sexual purposes.
Yes.
And for anybody who knows anything about me,
you can do that. Yeah, you can do that. You just go get one. How you can go down to the grocery store and go buy a pineapple. Well, they're a bit more expensive. It's what I hear, and you can't really buy them. You have to get them to agree to come with you. But yeah, it's not as so it's more complicated than buying a pineapple, but it's less complicated than dating an American girl. It's in the middle of those two things.
I think that was a joke, right? But if I were to take it at face value, no, it is significantly more complicated than dating a woman. You have to get a passport, you have to fly to another country, you have to convince a woman who might not speak your language to follow you back to your home country, and then she's captured. Okay, that's it. That is significantly more complicated than just having a partner in your home country. But the point is power. The point is is so they can't leave, so they can't fucking leave you. Okay, that's it.
A long-term resident of several countries in Asia. I've been a resident of the Republic of South Korea, the Kingdom of Thailand, the Philippines, and Japan. These are all wonderful, amazing countries, and I do help people obtain legal visas and legal residence long-term.
Okay. You are not making this any better for yourself. I'm still not saying he's a passport bro. I'm still not. I don't know. I think Hasan was kind of joking about that. I didn't even know that this person traveled a lot. I didn't know he traveled outside of the United States. Yeah, passport bros, they be traveling, okay, to East Asian countries in particular. Yeah.
In these countries because they appreciate the culture, the lifestyle, the quality of life, the peace, the safety, the tranquility. These are amazing things about living in Asia. And another
didn't Hasan talk about how he wanted to live in Japan and he left America after Trump won the election? He did.
He talked about how Japan is lovely to visit as a tourist, and he would like to live there in an ideal world, but he can't, or he won't. He has enough, like, he obviously could live wherever he wants, but he won't because Japan is an incredibly, like, racist country. Like, it's like very, very hostile, very racist and oppressive to just other, like, East Asian people, like in Japan, Korean people. Koreans don't have suffrage, and what I mean by that is, if you are ethnically Korean, if your parents immigrated from Korea to Japan, but you're Japanese, you can't vote. You have not been granted suffrage. Your family has to have been in Japan for, I believe it is still currently 4 generations. You have to be the 4th generation in order to participate in their democratic process. And that is what really stops Hasan from moving to Japan, okay? That's it. I don't even know why the fuck this matters. I don't know why it matters. He's visited Japan like a few times. Also, he is so much richer than you. He has so much more money in free time. Okay, so yeah, it is like a little bit less it is significantly less, in my opinion. Significantly less of a red flag. And again, I don't know if this guy's a passport bro. I think Hasan was probably joking about that. Like, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? It's not defamation.
Another amazing thing is that, unlike America, and this may be surprising to Hasan,
came back.
It is not as easy to get away with being an illegal migrant to these countries. So if you try to illegally migrate to Japan or Korea, very good luck to you, sir, because likely you will end up in the cell next to Johnny Somalia. Okay,
wait, so you're saying Japan and Korea are racist again? Oh my God.
It is, Smile, if you try that in Korea. It's not going to go well for you. So I would insist that perhaps the only person that perhaps between the two of us would be a passport bro is the individual who visited Berlin solely for the purpose of going to a brothel. But that's neither here nor there. Let's continue.
The brothel, dude, they cannot stop with the brothel accusations. Like, okay, man, he went to a brothel. Even if he did that, so what? So what? Also, I've seen no proof of it, but, like, again, even if he did, who cares? Who cares? Hasan is an adult person. Okay, he can do whatever the fuck he wants with other consenting adults. Who cares? It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. And, you know, the underlying premise here, by the way, is that this guy might not say it. I doubt he will, okay? Because, you know, well, I think he doesn't want to risk a defamation either, and or like catching a defamation case. I don't think he's you know. What I'm saying is, this guy is a lawyer. He's going to be more careful with his words. But somebody who's less careful would call Hasan a pedophile. Okay, and people that talk about the brothel thing, they love to call Hasan a pedophile. Oh yeah, he was diddling kids while he was there at the brothel. It's so fucking disgusting what they'll make up about him. With very little evidence. I mean, there literally is zero evidence that he even went to the brothel. But again, even if he did, who cares? It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Just shut the fuck up.
There's nothing wrong with going to a brothel. I think that's totally fine. But you shouldn't throw stones when you live in a brothel. You shouldn't do that.
What?
For his fucking courses.
No, dude. No, man. Going to a brothel is a lot different from being a passport bro. So it's not throwing stones in a glass house, you fucking dumb piece of shit. Being a passport bro is terrible. It is a terrible thing. It is an egregious offense, in my opinion. It's not technically illegal. It's technically not illegal, but it is wrong. It is a bad thing to do. Bad. I finger wag you if you do it. Okay? And I think you're a terrible person if you do it. Going to a brothel, it's not the same thing. Not the same thing at all. Not even fucking close. What the fuck are you talking about?
So the Hasan brothel story is elements of truth and untruth. Hasan did go to a brothel. The brothel was raided for the potential of having trafficked underage people, but the accusation for that was found to be false, and the brothel received an apology.
Bro, who primarily fucking streams on Rumble.
Neither one of those things are true. I do not have a single course on becoming a Passport Pro, and I do not primarily stream on Rumble. I only stream on YouTube. So, yeah, there we go.
Why do you guys come in here and ask for this stuff? It's never going to happen.
But you do have a Rumble
And that's the
account.
great point. I'm going to leave it right there. It's never going to happen because Hasan lacks the capacity to actually address real issues and to actually respond to legal or objective arguments because he's incapable of doing that. Not only because he's not a lawyer, even a non-lawyer can make an argument, can make a policy position, can say this should be this way for XYZ, but because he needs to discredit others by ad hominem in order to try to win an intellectual argument. And frankly, that's at the lowest level of argumentation.
Jesus Christ, this is bad. Oh, man. Yep. This guy knows how to make a backhanded compliment. This is not a compliment. There's no compliment at all. Yeah.
But one thing he really can't argue with is the law. And in fact, there's a California law, which was pointed out by a California lawyer friend of mine, where that shows that he may have violated this statute, 653.2, involving electronic cyber harassment. So this is the statute which reads every person who, with the intent to place another in reasonable fear of his safety. So if you have the intention to scare somebody else, to place them in fear of their safety, or the safety of that person's family, by means of an electronic communication device, a computer, or a cell phone, and without the consent of the other person, and for the purpose of imminently causing that other person unwanted physical contact, injury, or harassment by a third party, electronically distributes, publishes, emails, hyperlinks, or makes available for downloading personal identifying information, including but limited to a digital image of that other person, or an electronic message of a harassing nature about that other person, which would be likely to incite or produce that unlawful action. So he put out that photo, and he engaged in those actions with the intent to instill fear in that other individual. So that individual could look into...
No, he's pulling out a gun because he just wanted to look at it. Yeah, he wanted to look at it. He thought it was interesting.
Look, we've already talked about this. I've already covered all of this. When it comes to the... Look, I don't think that... I don't care. I don't give a fuck. What... The... Showing somebody's... You cannot be a content creator and not show images and videos of people's faces. We are on the internet, man. You are literally in a video right now. Is Asmongold doxing this fucking dumbass lawyer in this video? Is that what he's doing? Am I doxing Asmongold by reacting to... No, obviously the fuck not. It's not fucking defamation, dumbass. It just isn't. You can read the thing all you want. Oh, digital face, digital... Oh, but... Oh, it says digital picture of face or
with the
some
intent
shit. It doesn't...
to instill
I don't
fear
fucking care.
in that
I don't
other
fucking care.
individual. So that
You're
individual
a piece of
could
shit.
look into...
And no,
he's pulling out
and
a gun
no, that's
because
not
he,
why.
just wanted to look at
That's
it.
not why. You're speculating.
Yeah, he wanted to
You're
look at it.
fucking
He thought it was
speculating about something that you have no idea what the
Contacting
fuck
California
you're
law enforcement
talking
could look
about.
into that.
You are a fake lawyer, bro. You are the worst fucking lawyer I think I've ever spoken to. I can tell that you are. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. Okay, I'll say it. I'm not a fucking lawyer. But in my opinion, it is my legal opinion as a non-lawyer that you are the shittiest, fakest, fucking piece of shit lawyer that I've ever seen.
Action thereby. Very
garbage.
interesting and something for him to worry about. But
You're not
it's
a
gonna
real
be only
lawyer.
if he addresses
This
the
is a
real
laser
issues.
Not
Anyway, guys, leave a comment
literally.
below, and I'll catch you on the next.
But you're not a
I'm
real
glad to see
lawyer.
more people call this shit out because a lot of the people that are part of like that group, their entire apparatus of existence is defined by lies. They just make up a bunch of stuff about somebody, and then them and all of their friends repeat it to each other. And now they make it true, right? That's what happens, is they just constantly lie and make shit up about people. And it's very annoying. It is very annoying, and I think that also, again, as streaming becomes bigger, and as all these things, and it is, by the way, there's a video, give it a like. I really like Legal Mindset. I think he's a good guy. He's a straight shooter in a general sense. I like him, and that's it.
Okay.